Hey guys, so this week you guys are analyzing the world post World War II because this was like the most catastrophic, expensive, deadliest event in world history. Of course, the world is going to look a little bit different, or a lot a bit different after World War II. And so we are going to investigate the world after World War II by completing this set of stations that we created. There are 4 different stations, and then there's a reflection at the end of the stations. And so what you are going to need are these 2 links here. This first link, if you click that, it is going to bring you to this Google slideshow, and this is where you're going to be putting all of your work. So this is what you will turn in, and this is where you put all of your answers. The second link on here is a website in which you will find all the resources, everything that you will need to complete the 4 stations. You can see the Cold War, the United Nations, the Middle East, and Communist China. So let's take a look at what we are doing this week. So if we go to the Cold War one, which is the first station that you are supposed to complete, you're going to be learning about the basics of the Cold War. And so you can look over the slideshow here that gives you some information about the Cold War, or you can watch this video here about the Cold War. And then you guys are going to be doing a historical guess who or what located below. So you're going to look at the clues here. You have 4 different clues, and you're going to guess what they are. And then you will put your responses of what they are on the slideshow. So guess what number 1, guess what number 2. So you put your response there. There are 10 clues, and you can see there are 10 columns there. After you're done doing it's basically kind of vocabulary over the Cold War. But after you're done doing your guess what riddles, then you will put your response below to what was the Cold War. So that is your first station, and you can see here's all the different guess what clues. And then your next station is over the creation of the United Nations, which is a better version of the League of Nations. But you can see you're going to watch the video over the United Nations, and using what you learned from the video and the information on the web page, then you will complete these situations. So there's videos here, and then there's also more resources down here in the 3 core pillars. So you guys are examining what the 3 core pillars are of the UN, and then you're looking at different situations the UN has had to deal with in history and decide what pillar does it fall under: peace and security, human rights, or development. So you would read the situation, decide one of those 3, you would go back to your workbook, and you would put your pillar, okay, development, human rights, or security, and then you give me an explanation on why it falls under that pillar. Okay, and you can notice up here there will be 2 situations for each pillar. So there's 3 pillars, 6 situations, 2 situations for each pillar. So that's station number 2. Then if we go look at the Middle East, we have some content and some maps over the Middle East here. So you can use this PowerPoint to get information about the Middle East post-World War II, which we know is a very complicated and messy region of the world. And then also this is a recap video of the Arab-Israeli relations as well too, and then you can do a review to kind of see how well you know your Middle East information, and it's not taken for granted, just to help you review. And then you're going to go over here to the workbook, and you will complete what you need to do in the workbook here. So it says on the left, list 4 key people or countries that played a role in shaping the Middle East. You would list those 4 there. So people or countries, and then you're putting noteworthy events over here, 4 noteworthy events, and then you are answering the essential question there. So that's what you are doing for the Middle East. And then our last station is Communist China. So for Communist China, you are watching this video here created by Mr. Ham, and you're looking at this information here. And then you're going to go over to your workbook and go complete the timeline over Communist China. After you've completed all 4 stations, you notice all of your resources you need are in this website over here. But after you've completed all 4 stations, then you have a reflection here: which region of the world was most affected by the aftermath of World War II and why. So just a couple sentence reflection talking about which region was most affected. So yep, that's what you guys are doing this week. At the end of the week, you guys will turn in this workbook. It's worth 50 points, and as always, due on Friday by the end of the day. Have a great week, guys.